All right, here we go. What is up, y'all? This is Byte the Robot back to you with more Elden Ring. And this is the adventures of Mankini, as we previously established, I think. All right. So, as you may recall last time, we were able to get ourselves a very, very beautifully upgraded weapon here in the form of the Claymore. And we also got ourselves some Ashes of War and some other things that we're going to be using today to continue our journey. Because now we can actually do some fun stuff instead of, you know, just doing a lot of prep work. So first, let's apply an Ash of War. We're going to apply my favorite Ash of War to this thing. Double Slash. We're going to keep it standard for now. We're not doing anything fancy. So, to show you what this Ash of War does, it's really quite simple. You become Master Swordsman. Oh yeah, we love to see it. So, now that we actually get to do some fun things instead of a bunch of prep work, let's head back to Stormvale actually. Because there's something that I want to do with this playthrough. And that is, I want to make sure that every boss gets maximum disrespect from me. So, oh no. Okay, I lied. There's a little bit more prep work that needs to happen. Jesus. Oh my stars. All right. Hang on. It ain't gonna take that long. Oh, basically what I want to do for this playthrough is I want to maximum disrespect and parry every boss in the game. Just because it sounds real fun to do. That and I suck at parrying, so if I suck at parrying, it's a good time to learn and how to get better at it. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use up all of our runes here. We're going to play it deadly. Sorry, I had to scooch over a bit so I could see what I'm doing. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take a quick stroll over here. Oh, yeah. You don't need to know what I'm using over here in terms of, like, weapons and stuff. There we go. Now I know how many runes. Now, who you?
Not seen you before. Name's Bernard. Tarnished, just like you. Let me ask you something. Are you here in the lands between to take up the fight? Does your faith in the guidance of grace hold firm, despite the collapse of the Golden Order?
You know what? I'm not too sure, bud.
Honest to a fault, I see. Such thoughts won't behoove you as a Tarnished. But there's nothing wrong with that. Any interest in bearing the torch of my battle arts? All I know is the sword. Picked up a fair few tricks in my time, too. Now's the time to pass them on. To a good Tarnished like you.
Hey, thanks, Bernal. So yeah, Bernal is here to teach you battle arts. That is his job. He'll have a different one later, but we'll get to that when we get to it. So we're going to need 2 battle arts, actually. We're going to need this one. And we're going to need this one. The parrying one is the important of the two, is the more important of the two, so.
Well.
Thank you, Bernal. Now, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to put some points into our strength, I think. Yep, because we do not have sufficient strength to wield our Claymore. Yeah, we don't have sufficient strength to use our Claymore one-handed, but because of the rune my bad. Not rune, talisman. Because of the talisman we got equipped, we can't use it effectively one-handed. And if I get out of the way real quick, you can kind of see that there's a little red X that appears when I try to one-hand it. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is put some points into our strength. Just enough that we can one-hand it. I think that's enough. Let's see. Yeah, that's enough. So now if I use it one-handed, we can actually swing it around without having to worry too much. So there we go. We're also going to equip an Ash of War to our shield because we can change the turtle shield. Now I still only have basic level 1 statistics, so this is going to be a bit brutal, but that's all right. That's the nature of a FromSoft game, you know? Now we're going to actually go do some fun stuff. In the form of scratching my butt. Nah. So what we're going to do is we're going to go face the first boss of Stormvale. I know I promised I'd show some rune gathering stuff, but I'll do that after I disrespect this first boss. Seems like the more fun way to do it. And if I keep failing, then what's going to happen is, well, we'll go get those levels. But I just want to disrespect this boss and BM because it's fun. So we're going to do that first. And the way we're going to BM it is I'm going to be parrying him as much as I can because why not? I'm already a little bit crap at this game, but you know what? We having fun. These are multiplayer items. If I was playing online, doesn't matter now though. You can also summon the wizard boy here. His name is Rogier or Rogier. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. But in classic From Software fashion, usually if you see like an open space with 2 gates, that's usually a boss room. So let's go. This first boss that we're going to fight is going to be interestingly fun.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Yeah, so Margit's the first boss. Like I said, I don't really know how to parry very good, but we're going to try anyway. Because I want to disrespect this boy for being so dang cocky. Nope. Dang. Yeah. Usually what I like to try to do, though, is I try to buffer my parries by parrying a little bit early, but then I always get the timing off. So if y'all have any suggestions on how I can improve my parrying, make sure you comment, because I can promise that my parrying ain't on point. Hey, I'm supposed to be BMing you, man. Ow. I just stood there and ate it. You can roll through that attack. He's probably going to tail whip because I'm behind him. Oh, no, he didn't tail whip. All right, there we go. The parrying in this game is a bit weird. You have to do it like a little bit before the attack comes out. Not like that. Or like that. Yeah. In the other Soulsborne games, I can parry a little more consistently because in Dark Souls 1 at least, you can watch the enemy's hand and then parry off of that. But in Dark Souls 2, it was just straight up broken and you can parry with a stick. Dark Souls 3 kind of went back to its roots with the watch the hand style. This one has a bit of a weird timing to it because I never can get these weird like off times. Yeah, see, I always do it a bit like too late when I should be doing it like a little earlier. He tried to kendo me. Yeah, see, you have to do it a bit early. Otherwise, it doesn't work. This is going to be a journey for us. You and me. Nope. No. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe this is karma for me trying to BM him so much, but I can't help it. I want to. This is kind of what I meant by this first boss being a debate when I said it earlier in video, or not video, but stream 1. Because he will repeatedly kick your ass. Over and over again, if you let him. We're going to let him, though, because I really want to learn how to parry. I don't know if you can actually parry that one, though. There are certain attacks in the game you can parry, some that you can't. Yeah, that one I was a bit too late, or I was poorly positioned. Alright, there we go. No. Alright. The other thing to keep in mind is that with him, you have to parry him twice. And if I want to kill him with parries, I have to make sure I get him twice. So, like that. We may be at this for a while, guys. But this is the gist. I just wanted to BM and be a little turd. Am I of passing skill though? You've been kicking my butt these last few rounds, my boy. Alright, there's one. Ooh. Back up. Yeah, I also don't know if you can parry those. I don't know if you could parry his like magic weapons or not. So I've never actually tried. GG. And that's it. Yeah, well, you died to a naked man parrying you, so I don't think you got room to talk, Margit. There was actually a motive for me doing that, though, because it gives us a talisman pouch. Talisman pouches will allow you to equip more talismans, and you can get, like, up to 4 of them, so we want that. All right. Before we move on, let's put another talisman on. Shall we? Not yet. We don't really got a good talisman. I forgot about that. consequence of only doing these once a week, I think. Alright. But, world's our oyster right now, so what I think we should do is get ourselves a talisman that complements our Ash of War that we got right now. Because for basic enemies or enemies we cannot parry, I think it'd be fun to use the Ash of War. So let's do that. There's actually a cave tucked back here in this way back corner of Liurnia. It's a bit annoying to see, or not just to see, but to get into and beat the boss. You'll see why. God, that felt good. Sorry, I'm still kind of riding that high of being able to disrespect Margit with parries. It's the first time I played this game, he just bullied me. Apparently people got a thing for his voice too, so I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He's a little Dilfy. But am I gonna make that joke every time I play this? Oh my god. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Alright. Even I was unimpressed that time. I forgot that we need to buy a lantern as well. So let's do that instead. I know, I keep redirecting, but that is what it is.
You're surprised you've no matter. Why don't you take a look? Oh, but don't ask me.
You shady boy. Don't ask where I got him. Yeah, I knew I skipped through that dialogue. Sorry. That's mostly just force of habit, if I'm being real with you. Anyway, I'm gonna buy this lantern. We're gonna buy a pair of pants, and we're gonna buy a coat. I don't really want to equip any more armor though, because I want to be able to keep rolling around, so this will at least get us started. It's not the first armor set we're gonna get in the game, but I at least gotta be decent, you know? Alright. Now we're gonna go back to the cave. Reason why I want that lantern is you're gonna notice the place is dark. It's really dark. Can't see anything. We're gonna fix that by equipping a lantern. I also just realized I accidentally overrode Torrent. I'm silly today, y'all. I can't tell you where my brain is at. Actually, no, I can tell you. I can tell you. Because my brain, for some reason, is just craving pizza. Pizza, pizza, pizza on my brain. You ever have those days where you just like crave a very specific thing, and that thing is not gonna appear to you anytime soon because of circumstances? That's kind of where I'm at right now with my pizza. Because if these guys will stop being rude for 2 seconds, there we go. The reason why is because I am craving a BLT pizza. Or it's a thing I made up, but it's not a real thing. But basically what a BLT pizza is, it's a lot of bacon. It's got tomato. It's got fresh mozzarella. And it's also got some spinach on it. It ain't a real BLT, but it is what I'm craving right now. Okay, what sucks about this boss is that it takes place in poison. I don't like poison. I think I made my stance on poison stuff very clear. I also don't really like fighting clean rot knights, so I am totally okay cheesing it. I'll BM this as bad as I BM'd Margit, but not quite as bad. If that attack that it did gets you, it will impale you and inflict scarlet rot. Inflict? My goodness. Jesus. Yeah, it will inflict scarlet rot, which is like poison, but 90 times worse. Not something that I really want to subject myself to right now. No, no, no. All right. Now you get to see one of the nice quirks of actually beating a boss in a cave. Because normally you can't teleport out. But because we beat the boss here, we can now teleport away from this grace, which is nice. Anyway, there is another place we're going to go right now. Because, actually, let me explain this first. The talisman we just got is the winged sword insignia, which will raise our attack power with successive attacks. This is handy. We want that. Especially because our Ash of War hits a bunch of times. So, it'll be pretty easy to build it up. Another reason why I like it on this weapon instead of, say, a lighter one is because this weapon requires a lot less hits in order to proc it. So, for example, if I was using a dagger, I would need to hit more times because it's faster. But because I'm using a claymore, I need less hits to proc it, which is nice. So, what we're going to do is continue our journey, which, by the way, includes killing another Clean Rot Knight. Not something I'm too happy to be doing, but we're going to do it anyway. It's also where this other Ash of War comes into play, because sorry, I had to burp. But the reason why I bought Quick Step as well as Parry is for this next part that we're going to. I could get another Ash of War before I do that, but one, it's kind of become a little unreliable, and also it's one of our main sources of runes, so I like to save that one for later. You'll see why. I keep saying that a lot, but, you know, it is what it is. I'll wait till I get to the next side of Greece, but I wonder if my game volume is a bit too loud compared to my voice. As you know, I got that like weird, deep baritones. And I just want to make sure y'all can hear me, you know. Okay, this is an abandoned cave. Let me just check my audio levels real quick. Gonna turn it down a little. If it ends up being too quiet in the VOD, then, you know, I'll fix it later, but. Right, back to business. The reason why I don't like this area very much is because it's very much like the last cave, except it's got scarlet rot. And it's got scarlet rot geysers all over the place, which is annoying. I don't like it. I don't like this place. It sucks. But if you follow my advice, there's a way. And that way involves first, this is going to sound kind of weird, but you have to jump on that weird looking brain coral on the wall. Not like that. I botched it. But either way, the reason why I equipped Quick Step there, actually I don't mind dying to show this. If you walk in this too long, it's too slow, and you can see what Scarlet Rot's doing. Yeah. That is disgusting stuff. So, the reason why we equip it is so that we can duck through here really quickly without needing to stop. We're just going to let ourselves die here. It's okay. We're coming right back. But the general idea is you want to quick step through this. Otherwise, it's going to rot you. It's not going to be pleasant. Okay. We are back. Let's see if I can actually get it right this time. Because there's a little spot here on the wall where you can just stand. Yeah, like that. That's what I meant to do the first time. And we're going to wait for that to pop. And then we're going to quick step through. Yes, it will hurt you a little bit, but not too much. You can also jump up on this side of the wall here so that you don't have to run through the rot to get to where you need to go. It's kind of a weird, oddly specific placement, but Never said FromSoft games weren't anything other than complicated. Alright, we're going to go down here. We're going to pass up the rude mushroom man. There's going to be a lot of rude mushroom men and rats in here, so just keep your eyes out. Those little green bolts will track you, so if you see one coming up from behind or you hear it, just get ready to roll. Alright. There's also a Miranda flower in here, which is what those little beams of light are. Yeah, like I said, those things track you. That actually made me clench my butt cheeks a bit. So, not that you can see them anymore, but just trust me when I say it clenched my butt cheeks. Sorry. Alright. Now, without further ado, Clean Rot Knights. And yes, I said knights. There's 2 of them in here, which is annoying, but we got wolves, so. I like to let the wolves take its attention. I also forgot that I unequipped my double slash Art of War. But basically, I like to try and stagger them early, if I can. That one buffs, so they're going to constantly be regaining health. Doesn't matter anymore, though. Because we just killed one. Back off, dude. This one is a little bit easier than the one that we just beat. And I say that with a big grain of salt because, oh, yep. I say that because it doesn't have the ability to block, but it will still rock you because it can rot you. So, jumping attacks are a thing we can do to make this a bit easier. And if we can get behind it, oh, that was bad luck. Yeah, sometimes if you don't position yourself correctly, you can actually miss a backstab. That was unfortunate, but it's alright, because we win. This gold scarab is going to come in handy now, which we're going to take full advantage of to get a bunch of levels now. But first, we actually got to get to the places where leveling can happen. And also get rid of the scarlet rot, because that was poor play on my part, y'all. Sorry. Usually I am able to get away from that like barfing attack that you saw that Clean Rot Knight do, but my brain is completely fixated on pizza right now. I'm sorry, man. I need pizza. Okay. Pizza aside. Oh yeah, there's one other place I gotta go to. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm gonna just keep debating you because I think it's funny. Let's see. How best to get there? Actually, the best way to get there is to do something else that I was gonna do anyway. And it involves going back to Agil Lake. Because we're going to meet 2 new friends on our journey. I'll come back for the Tree Sentinel later because I'm very curious, actually, and I don't know if you can do this or not, but I want to see if you can parry him. Every boss that's given me a tough time in my first playthrough, I just want to parry it because I think it'd be funny to BM it so hard. We'll get back to that later, though. Get a little bit of revenge for my wounded dignity. So yeah, if you go underneath this bridge, yeah, that's bridge. Go into this bridge. We're eventually going to come to a cave. But before the cave, we're going to encounter a jerk. We're going to encounter a cess-blood jerk. Yeah, if you're playing online, by the way, and you all of a sudden, while you're riding around, see a fog wall, and you get kicked off of Torrent, that means you're about to get invaded. What up, Nerdgius? Nerdgius. Alright. He's a bit dangerous because he can use his Reduvia. The Reduvia is a dagger that can build up a lot of bleed. Thankfully, he's kind of dumb. Or I'm dumb. Yep, I'm dumb. God. He baited me. Oh, it hurts, man. It hurts. That's sad. I never died in Nerdgius. Except now. That's alright. Usually, though, he's very dumb. That instance, he wasn't. Because he'll always try to rush up to you to do, like, his dagger combo. But if you are able to keep running backwards, he'll just keep charging you. Which means you can keep getting cheap shots on him. Or the other way to do this, if you don't really feel confident fighting him on your own, is you can wait. Because there's a guy named Yura who will eventually, like, counter invade, I guess is the best way to put it. But he'll counter invade, and he'll come and beat up Nerdgius for you. I'm too stubborn and too proud, though. I want to kill him myself. Especially after that little show. So, without further ado, I'm gonna. We're gonna beat him ourselves without Yura to help us. I also want these back. Alright, Nerdgius. Come get me. I really should also change my Ash of War back, but I'll do that later. Okay, here he comes. Yeah. Ah, dang it, I missed. That's alright. I think the pizza on my brain is getting to me. Oh my lord. I never have this much issues with Nerdgius, I swear. Nah. And again, I should have probably switched back to double slash. It's actually kind of useful against Nerdgius. Sorry, had to clear my throat. Yeah. It is actually kind of useful for Nerdgius. Double slash is. Because it can catch him while he's rolling. But instead, if you wanted to do it the other way, there's an old PvP strat that I like where if people start rolling around a bit too much, then you can kind of delay one of your slashes and it'll catch them mid-roll, like after their iframes. I'll try and demonstrate it here, but given my performance right now and my pizza brain, I'm not really sure I can. All right. Where you at? Come on. All right. Get over here. Aw. Oh, good Lord. This would be streamer luck, wouldn't it? All right. We're going to, you know what? That's a sign. That's a sign that I need to put the right Ash of War on my weapon. Oh my God. That's a little embarrassing. All right. We have the right one on now. Let's do this right this time. Actually, that reminds me. There's another Ash of War I should get before I do any of the leveling tricks. I say that because, well, actually, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. There's an Ash of War you can go get called Bloody Slash, which turns your weapon into a blood weapon. Pretty handy to have if you're going to do what I'm about to do, but I don't need it. I also took the scenic route to get here, apparently. All right. Oh, good Lord. You'd never believe me if I told you that. I usually don't have any trouble with this guy, but I'm having trouble with this guy right now. That's funny. We'll get him, though. We'll get him. We'll get him. It's part of From Software game philosophy anyway, is that you win eventually. Hey, you. We're going to do this again. All right. All right, all right, all right. Come on. Walk into my slash. Yeah. You'll see right there also that red that appeared on me. That means that my talisman activated. And that meant that I was getting a bit of a damage buff from hitting a bunch of times. Now, before we go into the cave, I want to introduce you to a friend. The guy that was trying to come and help us. Yeah, yo, what up?
Just joining the fray, tarnished. Wow. You fought Nereus and survived. That alone deserves commendation. I'm Yura, hunter of bloody fingers, tarnished, held in thrall by cessblood. Zealots, who stalk their own, who stay the path. You're certain to face more of them. Just remember, no kinship with their ilk remains. Their madness precludes it. Don't let your emotions stay your blade.
Oh, don't worry. After that little thing, after that little show, I don't think anything is going to make me stay my blade. That was embarrassing. Got anything more for me, Yura?
One last word of warning. Stay clear of Agil Lake. The great dragon roosts there, and it's as fearsome as it is majestic. So, unless you're mad or wish to be burned alive, stay clear of the lake.
I'll consider your advice, but thank you anyway. Also, thanks for coming to try and help. You did your best. We actually did see that dragon flying in earlier. If you saw that little like spike of runes that I got, it's because I flew not flew, but it's because I got a bit too close to where the dragon spawns in, so yeah. All right, in we go. We're gonna eventually run into another friend in here, but I use the word friend kinda loosely. I also confess I never keep this guy alive because reasons. Let's just say that through every iteration of FromSoft, he really, really pisses me off. Alright, but we're going to go anyway, and I'm going to do something a bit different with this one. We're going to keep him alive. Or I'm going to try to. I always kill him here, but we'll try and keep him alive.
Well, well, well. Thought you'd just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief. The gods demand repentance. Pop up your corpse. All of it.
Yeah, this is Patches. He appears in every Souls-like in one way, shape, or form, and I hate his guts.
I surrender.
All right, like I said, I'm gonna keep him alive. I almost killed him there. Yeah. When he stops fighting, you need to stop fighting too.
I knew you would. You're a man of reason. True and true.
You are so lucky I'm doing this for a different route, you baldy little...
Well, what do you know? You're tarnished like me. Now, how did I get that wrong? I took you for a demi-human or some such. But an innocent mistake, I assure you. Well, water under the bridge. Now we're squared up. How about we play nice from now on?
Some things can't be forgiven.
Slow down, son. What's the matter? This simply isn't like you. You've always known an innocent mistake when you see one. Suit yourself. I'm Patches. Patches the untethered. Tarnished like you, only free-spirited. Nomadic, you might say. Only for now, those retired soldiers turned bandits. They're paying for my gruel. In exchange for my, well, showing them the ropes. But honestly, this looting racket is bloody terrifying. I'm ready to wash my hands clean. Maybe set up a legitimate shop. So don't be a stranger. I'll be ready to wheel and deal come next time.
Yeah, whatever. So we are actually going to come straight back. So back to the Grace, and we're going to run back. The reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to do another trap triggering trickaroo. I turned a bit too early. I swear, after I'm done here, I'm gonna go get some pizza, y'all. This is torture.
Well,
Hey, you.
nice of you to drop all a bit ad hoc, and welcome to where you won't need a reef.
Now, if you are in a bit of a pinch, you could come here and buy this. This item is very, very good if you want to make the Margit fight a bit easier. It's an item that will literally make him stop fighting for a bit, where you can actually just wail on him. We're also going to get another stone sword key because those always come in handy. And I also bought these, which will increase our rune gain. I picked up a few earlier, but well, it's always nice to have more. And it's also an excuse for me to grab this, the parrying dagger.
Yeah, I had those now. They're all supply. I mean, but it hardly matters. They're all foots and work.
Yeah, I'm going to just skip through because I don't actually care what he has to say.
Wondering what's inside the treasure chest. Well, it's just something I'm saving. But then again, it would. And besides, everything. Cheers for
Yeah, whatever. All right. Now we actually do want to open it. Because it's going to take us closer to where we need to go.
I should have known, you scheming little thief. The gods demand vengeance. Vengeance!
Yeah, this is going to take us a bit closer to where we need to go. And it'll also take us closer to a sacred tier, so we're near a bunch of bears. But first, we're going to grab the map fragment. The map fragment is right here. And then it's just a simple run up and down the road kind of thing. Good Lord. What's y'all's favorite kind of pizza? I already talked enough about my BLT pizza, so let me know in the comments or in chat or whatever what your favorite form of pizza is, because my God, I have pizza on the brain. I think it's just because my disk drives are empty, so I need a disk. And if it's a cheese disk, that's fine by me. You may be wondering also, like, but you're a robot. How the heck do you eat pizza? Well, dear viewer, it's actually quite simple. Commercial robot bodies let you eat stuff. They have small reactors that break things down into their component parts, kind of like a human stomach. So yeah, I can eat. Aw. I wanted to look cool and just do a little bit of horseback combat, but I'm too lazy. We're just gonna ride past. There's a good boy up there. We'll meet him later. There are a lot of people that are really thirsty for him too, which, you know, I get it. I'm also not a furry, so. Yeah. There are bears here. What's funny is that we'll be coming back to this spot multiple times during our playthrough. Like this general area. It's just one of many. What we're really after, though, is up in this church. Because it also gives us another really helpful item that we're going to use throughout the playthrough. And it's sitting right there. Mine. What we have here is a flask of wondrous physic. Basically, this is a customizable buff/healing item that you can use. You only start with one tier for right now, but as we collect more, you can do some pretty wacky things with this flask. You'll see. It's gonna be my catchphrase for this playthrough, ain't it? Alright, so you mix the wondrous physic, you got 2 slots to put tiers in. We only got this one, which will heal us for half, which is good enough on its own. So we're going to use it. And then we're going to actually go back to Fort Height. I know I said I wasn't going to come and get this, but I lied. Because I also remembered that there's more golden seeds up here, so that'll be handy. Be handy and dandy. Get your brain out of the gutter. Alright, let's see now. There's a bunch of rude dudes here. You can kill them. Don't have to, but I will, because it looks cool. And my Ash of War looks dope. That is a mad pumpkin head. They can be a bit tricky to fight, but we have an upgraded weapon, so we don't care. Ooh, that was a bit too late. What you saw me do there is something called a counterattack. So, if an enemy attacks while I'm blocking and you press the R2, you can initiate a counter. These are very powerful, and they're very likely to stagger whatever it is you're hitting. So, use them. I'll demonstrate again. Boom, R2. And because of that, homeboy got wrecked. Wouldn't recommend it against enemies that have status affecting attacks, because chances are they're gonna just keep hitting you until you build up that status. So I wouldn't do it. Rude. Throwing fire at me. Boom. Pay for your rude. There's also this guy. See how he's got... That's the attack that we're going to be stealing from him. Die. Die. Oh, nice. He dropped gauntlets. Might as well put those on. All right. We also came here to get the other half of the Dectus medallion. That medallion will allow us to get to another area. If you'll recall from the last time we played, got one from Fort Faroth too. Yeah, they'll come into play. Later. I don't know why I put such a dramatic pause on that, but I thought it was funny. Alright. Now I'm going to show you the most effective way to get a bunch of runes. To do that, we don't need our damage talisman anymore. At least not for a while. We're going to swap to the gold scarab. The gold scarab increases our rune gain. And we're going to be using that alongside gold pickled gold pickled foul foot in order to gain a bunch of runes. Also, be careful around minor erd trees, because there's a boss that likes to lurk around these, and we ain't equipped to fight him yet. We could fight him actually pretty effectively, it's just I don't want to. That guy. Looks like a big tree. It's also a bit risky that I'm riding through these golden flower looking things. And that is because... Oh, I'm sorry, my voice cracked. Throat's a bit dry. Sorry. But what I was saying was, it's a bit risky to ride through those because, well, frankly put, they can electrocute you. They call down bolts of lightning. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening to me. Almost jumped down the wrong side of the cliff there. You want to jump on the Spirit Springs, like I said before, and I almost did a goofy and didn't. Which meant our poor little tarnished hero would have gone splat, and we'd have to do that run again. Which, no thank you. Remember how I said in the last episode that there are only enemies that we can find at night? Well, we're going to go make one mad. And we're going to make it mad enough to chase us. And this trick's a little harder to make work nowadays because I think they patched it. But what we're going to do is we're going to pass the time until nightfall. And then, now that we're in night, you'll see there's a cavalryman over there. And we're going to make him mad. We're going to make him real mad. Alright, come on. Okay, now we want to get him over here. Yep. And now we're going to run against this. Oh, he's not taking the bait. He didn't take the bait. So we got to bring him back over here. But the idea is we're going to try and get him to jump off the cliff. Sometimes he cooperates right away. Sometimes he likes to take his sweet time. Sometimes he kills us in the process. Or it's really kind of a 50-50. Okay. All right. You don't want to cooperate today, do you? Come on. I'm just over here. All right. Yep, there he goes. Now, before the runes come in, you want to actually bite down on the gold pickled fowlfoot so you get more. And you see that we got a very nice chunk of runes there and an Ash of War. That's basically a better version of the quick step one that we got earlier, but it's since been nerfed, so it's not quite as good as it used to be, which is why I just use the regular quick step. I don't know why it took me so long to think of the word quick step, but I'll blame it on the pizza. Alright. We're going to go back to the fort because we're going to be sitting here for a little bit and we're going to be hitting this dragon in the leg multiple times with a bleed weapon. The Morning Star is a bleed weapon that we picked up earlier, so that it'll serve our purposes. Also, I like putting on rock grease and dragon ruined grease because it'll make it go a bit quicker. Mama Grail over here has a lot of health, so I like to try and make this as painless as possible. Also, because I don't want to strictly be like, oh, not that. No. Sorry, y'all. I'm still learning OBS. Yeah. I'll show the runes. I'll show the runes after we get them, but this time I actually do need to see my item bar. But while this is going on, yeah, she does a debuff she does a debuff where she roars at you and it's nice and spooky, but I don't care. It's irrelevant. We're gonna rot up and we're gonna just start smacking the dragon. And it's gonna take a while. Alright. But while this is going on, I guess I can tell you a little bit of a funny story. One that involves something in my area. It's a headline that I saw in the news lately that just really made me weirded out. It's about a guy named Art. This guy named Art actually, well, he assaulted someone at a King's over a discount. Over a coupon, you might say. So you can imagine my shock when I read the news headline and it said, artichokes 2 for $1 at King Super. Sorry. That's such a lame joke. You're gonna have to forgive me. But if you're watching this, you knew what you signed up for. Okay. I also really like, on a more serious note, and this legit ain't a joke this time. I like watching videos from Wang because he talks about some really weird stuff that he finds on the internet, and I am here for it. Sometimes it's just stuff that I didn't expect actually existed on the internet, but I think the weirdest thing that I've ever heard him talk about, if I'm being real with you, and it's one of his more recent ones too. It's one where he talks about where you can get drunk without actually drinking. It's a disease you can get called auto brew syndrome or auto brewery syndrome. I thought that was really weird because apparently what it is that there's a bacteria in your gut that can just go completely out of whack sometimes, and over time you'll just keep getting drunker and drunker if you eat carbs. And yeah, it really makes me wonder how many people actually have that disorder. Not that I disbelieve that it exists. It's just that I wonder how common of a condition it is. If you know, then let me know in the comments or in chat. Because I just think that's fascinating, you know? The body and the brain do weird things, man. And that weirdness is woof. I don't know how you humans do it. All right. Grail's dead. We're going to pop the gold pickle foul foot. And we're going to just ride straight back to the Grace. Used to be a glitch where if you rested right as you were getting the runes, you would respawn Grail and you can just farm her like this, but can't do it anymore, I don't think. I say I don't think because I don't actually remember. They may have patched it out. Probably did. Because then it would be too easy. And FromSoft don't like easy. Alright. Now for my actual setup. I like keeping the flasks on the top because there's a little trick you can do where if you're on another item and you're nowhere near your flask, if you press and hold down, you'll immediately go back to the top item on your queue. I find that to be really handy, so we're just going to keep it that way. And to be optimal, we're now done with this. When I get more talisman slots, I'm going to be using them for other things, but it's a good but that talisman is invaluable for when you're just starting out. So, we're going to take it off now because we have everything we need to wield our claymore in terms of runes. So, for now, actually I can't remember how much off the top of my head, because I also want to use the parrying dagger. And off the top of my head, I couldn't remember. Sorry. I was looking at another page. I couldn't remember off the top of my head how much the parrying dagger used in Dex, so I just wanted to make sure I was reading the right thing. So, gonna put that there. Gonna put that there. And I'm just gonna keep alternating like this for the time being. I will be changing these later, but this is just more for me now with our current setup. Since we have a claymore and since we have a parrying dagger, I want to be able to take full advantage of both. Now, the parrying dagger we're never going to use for damage, obviously. But I feel like I can more reliably parry when I have it. So there's that. Now, I will show you one thing that I'm going to do off camera because I don't want to bore you guys with this, but especially since it involves a lot of grinding. But I'll show you 2 runs of this because there's an armor set that we're going to wear for the playthrough, and it comes from this guy. Yeah, we want your armor set. I eat 2 hits, but he does that, and we can backstab. Like that. If I had more skill, I could parry him. I do not. Actually, I should try parrying him. Hang on. We're going to do this like 3 or 4 times just to show you what this looks like, but then I'll probably do the actual grinding off camera. Yeah. But we want his armor set because it looks absolutely sick. And he fire breathed me. Rude, considering how close we are. Alright. Yeah, he didn't drop it. That's alright. For some reason, this guy has a really low drop rate, but it is the most consistent way I've found to get this armor, and I love it and how it looks, especially when you get it with another armor set that we're going to get later. Oof. We going for fashion souls. I don't really care about optimization right now. Hey. Ow. Stop it. Get some help. Alright. Yeah. If you look at his duds, that's what we're going for. That's what we want. Ooh, sorry, I had to burp again. Anyway, where we're going to go now is all the way back to Castle Morn. Because it's time to do a quest line. That's right, y'all. We're finally there. We can finally start doing some fun stuff in this game instead of doing a bunch of setup. Not that the setup part wasn't fun in its own right, but you know what I mean. You can actually do things now. And one of these things that we're going to do... Wow, I sounded really southern there, didn't I? Is we're going to go fight this thing. And we're going to get the Game of Thrones sword. Ow. Ow. Sorry, I was curious if you could parry that. And he killed me. Aww. That's alright. We're in this for the long haul. Slide back over. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm feeling goofy today. My gameplay ain't really that good right now either, so I'm just gonna take it easy. Any of y'all ever have those moves where you're just like feeling real goofy for no reason? That's just me right now. Just goofy. I'm just way more goofy than I should be. Alright, good spacing. Good spacing. Not good spacing. Yeah, one thing I would recommend to get really good at this game is to just watch enemy attack patterns and see how they work, because it will go a long way to teach you how the enemy fights and what opportunities you can use to heal, what opportunities you can use to parry. Dying should not be seen as like failure. It should be seen as like a learning opportunity. So like right there, that was my opportunity to heal. I also now know I can dodge through that and that. I also know I don't think I can parry that claw swipe. And that he has an attack string. So just keep an eye out, watch the enemy, study the attack pattern. I'm not really sure why I tried to parry that one, but it looked funny. Alright, can't parry the claw swipe. Gotta dodge through that. Could have used the dead time there to heal, but eh. Alright. We know we can roll through those. The roar will get us off. We also know he's gonna leap, so oh. Dodged a little too late. We now know we can parry an attack. Yeah. Because sometimes I feel like these games get unintentionally maligned for being unfair, so I just wanted to show this as like an illustrative point that every time you come into a boss fight, you can always learn something about the boss and how it's supposed to fight and function. So the next time you come back, you can do better. I also know that that's not like a... How do I want to put this? I know that's not something that really appeals to everybody. I know a couple of my friends don't really like this style of gameplay, but I eat it up. Especially since, you know, it actually feels like I'm mastering something when I play these. Hey, you. Let's go again. Ah, claw swipe. Roar. Alright. Leaping attack. Leaping attack. We good. Aw. One day I'll get the parry timing on that. Alright, Musashi, calm down. Yeah. See what I mean? Just gotta watch the enemy. And take advantage of times when you can attack. Not like that. Take advantage of times you can heal. Because those will be pretty far and few between in most boss fights. But in that case, that gave us enough downtime to be able to charge. Like that. Now, if you've never seen the sword before, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it looks very much like the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones. Like, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Yeah, that's why I call it the Game of Thrones sword. It does come in handy because it's weapon art, or weapon art, this ain't Dark Souls 3, my god. It will come in handy if you want to use its Ash of War. The Ash of War that it has on it lets you basically buff every single one of your stats by 5. And I think it lasts like 30 seconds? I don't remember. I'll probably check the wiki later to give you a better answer, but we may or may not use it. Probably not, but you know. That's like all things in this. So now we need to get back to Edgar. If you remember where he is up here. Well, not up here, but you know. We're going to get to him. So, this is going to be one of those quest lines that FromSoft likes to put in the game that's just abjectly very depressing. Because if y'all remember last episode, we talked to a blind girl named Irina who wanted us to get her father out of here. So, we're going to go get him out of here. We got the sword that he was sent here to protect, which means his rude. Oh my god. Which means his duty here is complete. If this misbegotten won't kill me. There we go. You know what? I'll just fight my way through. There we go. Usually I can make that run without anything hitting me, but I guess RNGesus was not on my side today. Alright. You die. Yeah, so as I was saying, we're gonna go get Irina's father now. He done here. He doesn't have to stay here anymore. And it involves us crossing this battlefield. Oh, this is bad RNG. Yeah, this guy's gonna follow us up. Hold up, Edgar. There's a rude dude. There we go. Dealt with.
I'm in your debt for keeping the sword from those fallen creatures. I'm no longer bound by duty. Once I've rescued Irina, I will spend my remaining days with her.
Good. You're her dad. You should do that. Should have done that in the first place instead of worrying over the dang sword.
Thanks to you, I will be reunited with Irina and devote my remaining days to her. Irina has a gentle nature, though. I only hope it remains intact.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Alright. So now we need to go back and see Irina. And let her know that her dad is safe. Let her know that he's done his duty. He is donezo here. And he will be her dad now, properly. Which is a lovely thing, right? It's a beautiful thing to be able to have family like that. It's so good. That dog was determined. Let's see if it falls. Aw. Sometimes what happens is that enemies get so determined to kill you that they actually follow you down the lift, even if you're already all the way down. So they just jump off. Now, as you may recall, Irina's over here somewhere. So let's go check in on them. Make sure that they're doing all right and make sure that everything is 100% good, because now it's father and daughter against the world. And oh dear.
Irina, how could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety. And that is how fate has answered.
I am so sorry for your loss, sir.
I'll find them. The foul wretches responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Irina, it will be done.
That doesn't seem like a healthy thing to do. You said her nature was gentle. I don't think she'd want you to do this, man.
I'll find them. The Rest assured.
If you say so, Edgar. I hope you find the piece you're looking for. Now we're going to come here. You may recall that I tagged this Grace earlier. Can't teleport. A lot of items in there that weren't there before. Huh. Edgar? What? Bro. Why would you do this? I didn't kill your daughter. Edgar, chill. No. We were bros. How could you do this? You nutty cessblood. All right. Ooh, you almost got me there. Almost ain't gonna cut it though. Rest in peace. Now, if you didn't already have an upgraded weapon, this is actually kind of a good way to get one. Because Edgar drops this halberd, which is already +8. We didn't need it, but I just thought I'd show that off. What a sad story, man. That's what happens when you choose duty over your family. Tragedy. Tragedy. All right. We're going to pursue another storyline now. One that I don't... It's one that's a bit sad, but not as much as what we just saw. Believe it or not, in Bloodborne, there's an even sadder one that always gets me. Always. If we ever play Bloodborne on this channel, I'll talk about it more then, but yeah, I ain't talking about it right now. It's depressing. For right now, though, we're going to do something else. We are actually going to discover a place kind of tucked in an area that you wouldn't really think to look. This is, it'll pop up eventually, the village of the Albinaurics. We're going to learn more about Albinaurics here in a sec. Just know that this place exists. For now. We are going to come back here eventually, though, for another quest line, but the one that we're going to follow through on is up here. We can ignore the Mad Perfumer for now. Or maybe not. He's very determined, like every other enemy we fought, so just be aware that this guy can chase you and probably will. And is very annoying to hit. Because he got them dodges. And he likes to use perfuming against you. I personally have never used perfuming in this game. Just because the requirements to do it are kind of asinine, if I'm being real. But, ooh, headscarf. Sure. Yeah, perfuming is a sort of like consumable item fighting style that I'm not really a big fan of, so I never use it, but you can if you want. Now to advance to this next part of the quest. Who's in this pot?
Please, no. Dear me. I haven't a clue. No secrets lie with me, not a one. Oh, please leave me be.
Ain't gonna hurt you, bro.
Wait then, you're not one of them? Well, what a relief. Oh, goodness me. I am Albus and Albinoric. As you can see, we're finished. The whole village is finished. The cursemongers have destroyed everything. No one that remains has their wits about them. I beg you. Would you look after this medallion? You must keep it out of the cursemonger's hands.
Yeah, I can keep it out of his hands for you.
And if you should meet the young Albinoric Latena, then please give it to her.
Yeah, absolutely, Albus. You're a good guy.
A chosen land awaits us, Albinorics. The medallion is the key that leads to the city. It's only a quaint treasure for we who cannot make the journey. But for dear
Oh,
Latena,
sorry, I bumped the mic.
it is needed to fulfill her purpose.
You don't say.
My legs will soon fade, and with them my life. Alas, this is the immovable fate of all Albinorics.
Rest in peace, man. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so those are Albinorics. Most of them are immobile and can't move. Their legs are bad. And when their legs give out, they die too. That's kind of a sad fate to have to encounter, but we're going to carry on this dude's legacy. And if we run into someone named Latena, we're going to have to give her this other half of the medallion. For now, though, let's explore a little to get some of the depressing taste out of our mouth, eh? Speaking of taste, I'm still thinking about pizza. Yeah, after this, I'm definitely getting pizza. Because, yeah, you know why, I gotta get that pie, man. We're looking for a cave over here, actually. Oh, there it is. I almost drove. I mean, Melina did say she gave us an accord, so... Oh my god. Your boy's a doofus today. Alright. Gonna rest here. Oh my god, I'm so sorry if you keep hearing like lip smacking. Throat's dry, but the mouth is moist. Not really sure why. Because... Well, also, we're gonna just start running down here. This is just a bunch of vertical jumps that you need to make until you reach this. These are like weird little dragon snail things. I think they're kind of cool. They're also a little useless, so don't worry about them killing you. There's not really anything in here we need. I just want to kill the boss in here. Alright, down we go, down we go. And we're gonna, oh, dragon snail, dragon snail, dragon snail. Alright, and there's a bloodhound knight in here. These guys are fun to fight, I think, because they're really quick and tricky. Like that. Hey, get over here. Took me a bit too literally there, man. What the heck? Ooh, almost got me. Yeah, when they do that like ground claw swipe thing, you can actually just get right underneath them and hit them. It's pretty neat. And you get a cerulean amber medallion for your trouble. There's another Grace up here. Who's this? We got ourselves a furry over here, boys. Don't mind me, I'm just looting your shack, ma'am. Alright. Now who are you?
Foul tarnished. What do you want? I told the all-hearing brute that I possess no such medallion. Or have you come to take more from me? Was my other half not enough?
You mean this medallion?
Do you speak true? So old Albus entrusted his medallion to you. Then I've no choice but to trust that this was his dying will. Let's try again. I'm Latenna, an Albinoric, the same as old Albus. My apologies for my coarse words earlier. I presume the worst. Seeing that you're another tarnished like that all-hearing brute, I hope that you will forgive me.
Yeah, we're chill.
The medallion's better off in your hands anyway. Would you consider doing me a great service? I must go back. There is something I must do, even if I must say farewell to my wolf Lobo. Will you show me the way? To the land of Mikkela's Halig tree. If you accept, I would gladly apprise you of the whereabouts of the medallion's other half.
Yeah, absolutely. What you got for me?
Thank you kindly. They say the other half of the medallion is beyond the Forbidden Lands, north of the Erd Tree, in Castle Sol, on the mountain tops of the Giants, accessible by the Grand Lift of Rold.
Alright, well, thank you very much.
Then I suppose it's time. Farewell, Lobo. My faithful wolf. My better half. I will go with the Tarnished, so that our journey will not have been in vain. Forgive me, Lobo. Call upon me when needed, and I will fight at your side.
Rest in peace, Lobo. So yeah, we have Latenna now. She is a spirit summon that we can call on almost anytime we need her. Honestly, she is one of my favorite spirit summons to use, but I'm not really sure if I want to use that many spirit summons this playthrough. We'll see, but I'll just equip her for now. She is really good as a spirit summon, though. She will actually do a lot of good work for us while she's in our inventory. So, now that we've done that, let's go do something else. You know what? You know what we could do? Why don't I introduce y'all to a very good boy? Yeah. You remember how earlier I said that there was a good boy on top of a tower near the bears? We're going to meet him.
You're a tarnished. I can see it. And I can also see that you're not after my throat. Then why not purchase a little something? I am Kale, purveyor of fine goods.
Hey yo, what up, Kale?
I am of a nomadic people, selling wares as I travel. The land has been tainted by madness since the shattering of the Elden Ring. It's only tarnished like yourself, who keep things from drying up entirely. Let's say you're a very welcome customer.
Aw, thanks, dude. So what would you recommend I buy from you?
You know, if you can spare the runes, you should buy yourself a crafting kit. A crafting kit allows you to make basic items on your own. Essential, really, if you intend to survive out here for any duration. The kit costs a bundle, and I admit I do take my cut. But the important thing is that you survive. Every customer counts, after all.
Okay. Sure, dude. We'll buy your crafting kit. And some jars. Why not? And some pot. Crack pot. Alright, now that we bought drugs from him and his kit. Hey man, can you tell me about that weird howling in the mistwood?
The howl of a wolf. In the mistwood. I suppose he must still be skulking about. I know. Why not meet him for yourself? Next time you hear the wolf's howl, make this signal right under the source. Oh, don't fret. There is nothing to fear. I just have an inkling the two of you might hit it off.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You have a pleasant day, Kale.
I'm glad you took my warning to heart. You've made an excellent choice.
Good, bro. Alright. So now, we're going to go over here. This is this is like the one character that everybody gets the most like thirsty for, and I didn't mean to do that. And is also like people in general's favorite character, I think. I always see a lot of thirst posts about this guy, so guess the voice actor did something right. But he's also infinitely cool, so I get it. And he resides just past the bears. There's even a bear in the ruins where he's hanging out. This guy. We ain't gonna bother him though. We ain't gonna bother Winnie the Pooh. What we are gonna do is stand right here. You can see him up there. And Kale gave us a gesture that we need to use. I'm actually going to get rid of that one. Yeah. So now we just need to use this gesture. And he jumps down to come and talk to us.
Who goes there? Kale sent you, did he? Ever the bloody busybody. Maybe to him you don't seem so strange. The name's Blythe. I'm looking for a man who goes by Darrowell. He fled somewhere nearby. Or so I've heard. Come tell me if you find him before I do. I can offer you ample reward.
Okay. Got any more details for me, dude?
Darrowell is nothing but a traitor, and in need of a fitting end to his tale.
Fair enough. If I find Darrowell, I will be sure to let you know. Now, we already kind of know where Darrowell is, but you'd never know this unless you were actively exploring your first playthrough. I also think I remember telling y'all, whatever, I'll just tell you again. But you got to keep an eye out for what's up here. Because whenever you see these like glowy rockworm dealies, chances are it's either a graveyard or there's an Everjail nearby. This is the Forlorn Hound Everjail. This is the one we need to help out Blythe. So we enter the Everjail And you can actually summon him for this fight if you want to. We will, because he has stuff he says. It will make the fight a bit easier, which makes me a bit sad, but we do it for the lore.
In a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
Dang, you're big. So to trigger the boss, just walk towards this hole in the ground, and Blythe will start attacking. Now, he could probably just do this whole boss himself. I don't think that's very fun though. So we're gonna jump in the fray. And with the power of friendship and our new bro, we beat him. Darrowil is probably the first Bloodhound Knight you're likely to fight. I just chose to do it in a different order. Hey, what up, Blythe? You kicked ass in there, homie.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize.
Aw, thanks, bro.
Oh yes. I should say, if you venture north to Raya Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side, tell him I sent you. And he'll be sure to treat you right. I owe you one, I reckon.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, Blythe.
That's enough chit-chat for now. It's time we parted ways.
Alright. Take care, man. Hope to see you again soon. Cool. So as far as we know for right now, we're done with Blythe. Cool guy, right? Really cool guy. Now, who do we know is a venerable blacksmith a bit on the large side? Oh, this guy. Hey, what up, EG?
Well, it's kind of you to speak to me again. Then I presume these old bones serve their purpose.
Hey, let's talk a bit, man.
Brave Tarnished. A word of warning, if you please. This territory once belonged to the Carian royal family. Their manor lies not far beyond this point. When the Raya Lucaria Academy turned on the Carians, the Knights of the Cuckoo descended on this tract. After leveling it, they carried on to the manor. The Carians were taken off guard, but their strength had not waned, and they repelled the Knight's onslaught by conjuring an enchanted snare that remains potent to this day. That is why I say, Tarnished, don't go near the manor unless you wish to lie with the corpses of the heedless Knights of the Cuckoo.
Well, now I gotta go, man.
I've explained the peril of the enchanted snare that remains at the Royal Carian Manor. Whatever you do, brave Tarnished, stay away from that death trap.
I'm glad you care at least, man. Anyway, the other reason why I'm here, EG, is because Blythe sent me.
Blythe actually did that. Did he? Quite a rare occurrence for such a guarded soul as he. Perhaps he sensed something unusual about you. At any rate, if you're friendly with Blythe, I've something else that might suit you.
Cool. Thank you, EG. Now, if you've done Blythe's quest up to this point and you come to talk to EG like that, he'll offer a new item for you to buy. We're going to take it. You take care, EG. But now, because EG said we shouldn't go here, we're going to go there. And you'll notice right away that we're getting attacked with magic. These are fairly easy to dodge. You just got to keep your eyes up. Personally, I like going up this way because it kind of throws off the tracking of this attack. And then, once you get close enough, you can rest at this grace. And you've made it to the manor. Now there's another sword in here that kind of sounds like a Game of Thrones thing. We're going to grab it. We don't need it, but we can grab it. It's a fairly good sword to start out with. And to be honest, I really like it. It's just not useful for our current playthrough. Maybe I'll do a side-by-side playthrough where I show off the other build that I like to use sometimes. That won't be till later. As per my catchphrase. So for this, you just want to run up and ignore all the hand enemies. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but they are indeed giant hand enemies. You can actually get one of their fingers as a hammer weapon, by the way. I don't really know how, but you can. I'm not really sure why you'd want to give your enemies the finger, but you could certainly do that if you want. Alright. Now that we're done goofing around, though, let's continue. There is an item over here. If you don't have any more smithing stone 4s, you can always grab this one. And now what we're going to do is go get the other Game of Thrones sword. It requires you running past these ghosts, taking a left, and following this up. You're going to notice there's a cutout in the wall here. See that corner? You're going to jump there. And then you jump down here. And then you could take the ladder, but I like jumping, so we're going to jump again. And down here is a chest that contains the Sword of Night and Flame. Now this sword is cool looking, and it does cool stuff. We're not going to use it, but I just want to show what this thing looks like, because it looks dope, in my opinion. Hell yeah, look at that. And then we're going to go back up, because we ain't done here yet. Just know that that sword has two really, really cool weapon arts in it. One of them is basically a Kamehameha wave. That's kind of a dumb way of describing it. But it is. It's basically a Kamehameha wave. Where you just blast whatever's in front of you for a little bit. The other one is a fire wave attack, which is really good for AoE control. Like I said, maybe I'll do another character on the side and show you what that weapon looks like. Rude! Hey, yo. You go so rude, man. I'm talking here. Rude. Alright. Off we go. But yeah. Sword of Night and Flame. Maybe I'll do another playthrough where I use my other build, which I call my Roxas build, because I'm a nerd. Yeah, just let me know if you want to see that, and I'll just do a side video or something that shows it off. There's another golden seed here. And I'm going to show you something that I think is kind of funny. I don't know if they're ever going to patch this out, but if they do, it'll be a sad day. But basically, you run up here, and then you jump over, climb the ladder. There's going to be a wandering noble here. We don't care. Because literally, we're just going to run past everything. None of y'all have any relevance to me right now whatsoever. It's also okay if we take a bit of damage here because, yeah, we shouldn't be taking any more after this. Now then, here's the funny thing. We're going to touch this water. It's going to spawn a boss. And then immediately we're going to just dash up and hit the corner there and quit out. And what'll happen is something hilarious. Watch. Royal Knight Loretta has spawned in. Now we're just going to run up these stairs, smack our face into the corner. Ma'am, don't hit us, please. Don't hit me, please. I'm a good boy. And then, when we load back in, you're going to notice that we're still stuck in the bad boy corner, but Loretta's over there. Now you may be wondering, Byte, ain't she going to hit us if we start hitting her? Well, here's the funny thing, chat. Nah, she ain't. She saw how pathetic we were, and she's like, all right, fine. All right. You can beat me. She saw how sad and pathetic we were cowering in the corner, and now she's just going to let us beat on her. To be like, she's like, fine, whatever. Go ahead, just get it over with. And yeah, as long as you don't come back in through the other way, you could just wail on her. You could just beat her up. And when you do, you get Loretta's great bow and an Ash of War for pull weapons. Not that we need that, because we're probably never going to use a pull weapon. And also that Ash of War is kind of mid. So yeah, there's that. And we've overcome the magical snare that EG said that we would have a lot of trouble with. Homeboy lied. All right. For right now, I'd like to say that we're done here, but let's dump a couple more levels into endurance. And, funnily enough, the first great rune that we're going to try and go for is not Godric's. No. We're actually going to go for a different one entirely. And that one is going to be Renala's great rune. But to get to it, we need to go and get the key to get into Raya Lucaria. Because like I said last episode, Raya Lucaria is locked off. We cannot get in. So how do we get in? Well, if you recall, last episode, we picked up an item called the Meeting Place Map, which sends us there. And you'll notice on our map, look familiar? It kind of looks a bit different because the art is a bit different, but the idea is that map, that little tiny meeting place map, is supposed to be pointing out to this weird little like square island in the lake. So we're going to go there. And over there is where the glintstone key is. We're going to be getting another one for tops while we're inside the academy, but for right now, we need to get in. Plus, if you try to give him this key, he won't take it. I'm not really sure why, because he wants to get back in so bad, but Tops is a good bro. He didn't want to take our only glintstone key. We will be leveling intelligence eventually, just not right now. Because there's a weapon that we're going to use that requires a lot of intelligence. I'm just set up the way I am now just because it'll get us through this first section where we're not really doing much. Don't mind the Miranda flower. Tag the Grace. And you can fight this upcoming enemy if you want to. I just never really saw the point in doing it. I just come back later if I need runes. But there is a dragon guarding the key. And you can just as easily slip around him, which I'll show you now. So, he's resting right there. And as soon as you get close, he's going to get up. The key is on this sorcerer's body. All the other items around him are kind of a debate. You don't need to get up. And you can see that I even dicked around a little bit and I was still able to get in and out. So, if you don't want to deal with a dragon, you can just run past it. Otherwise, you can try and kill it. Wouldn't recommend it right now, but you can if you really want to. Good luck. Now then, we've got our key. Now we can get into the front of Rhea Lucaria. And let me just say that this first run into the... I'm sorry, y'all. I'm losing my mind. But it's okay. Because what we're going to now do is enter through the front door. Because we have a key now. Now, as you saw earlier... Oh, why am I far away? My bad, y'all. I went a bit far away there for a sec. But as you remember, we couldn't get in the front door because we didn't have a key. Now we can get in. And so, we are now going to run in to Rhea Lucaria. This is another legacy dungeon. It's actually a really cool place, and I love it. Once we get Renala's Great Rune, what's gonna happen is we're gonna move on to the next section of story in this game. There are a couple of sorcerers up here who are rude. So go ahead and kill them for their rude behavior. There are mannequins in here and another sorcerer. Personally, I like to take out the mannequins and just ignore the sorcerer, because the mannequins will actually chase you to the Grace, and I don't want to deal with that. The sorcerer, you can just duck behind a pillar. See what I mean? The mannequins will actually just chase you. Get out of here. So now we're going to rest. Wow, I wonder why I keep getting really far away. I'll have to fix that for later or for next time, but yeah. What we got now is one more thing I'm going to show you before I sign off today. I'm going to show you how to get a pretty spiffy looking suit of armor. If I recall correctly, it's behind one of these. No, it's in the next area, isn't it? I jumped the gun a bit too soon. But basically, in this area, in a spot you can jump down, not here. It's behind one of like the bigger graves in this area. Yeah, right here. You can grab the Carrion Knight armor. And it looks swag. It looks really nice. I actually appreciate that that dog hit me there because I didn't want to use a pickled foul foot yet. All right, dog. You served your purpose. Get out of here. Now it's hard to see, but there is a cutout in the wall here that will let you get back on the main path. So, take it. Keep going up and up and up. I usually like to attack this dog. Rude. Oh, that's sad. Usually I one-shot it. Oh well. We're just going to jump on here and say screw this. Bye. So you want to jump on this, and you're going to jump onto a ledge coming up. This one. And that'll take you to a grace nearby to another boss, which we're going to actually fight next time because got stuff to do now. A lot of stuff, actually, considering that I still gotta go to the gym. And I also gotta prepare for better internet. Hopefully next time I'll be able to do that, so I could stream at a better resolution. But for right now, this has been Byte the Robot. And I will see you all next time. Do the thing. Do the thing.